I move to the next speaker, Dr. Dinesh Mishra, sir, the convener of Barh Mukti Abhiyaan and a Ashoka Fellow. He is a living legend as far as the flood management and the rivers of Bihar are concerned, an IITian. Now, today his topic is flood risk reduction with respect to the SFDRR. मिश्रा सर प्रणाम और आपसे अनुरोध है कि आप अपना स्पीच शुरू करें सर.
And working over the issue of floods for last so many years, I'm trying to learn it and learn it from the people. Occasionally trying to learn it from whatever literature is available from outside. Um, when it comes to dealing with floods, I'll talk it very briefly. Well, we all know in our states, at least in Bihar, I know when it is going to strike and where. There may be some digression here and there, but normally we know it. My question here is, are we prepared for that? Or somebody else will come and take care of us? What are the policies of the state and what are the other people doing, other agencies involved in this are doing? We always talk of advance warning. I mean, that is where we started with today. I know in 1954, there was a huge flood in Kosi, and that was the biggest flow of that till that time. And in Vidhan Sabha, a question arises that it takes about 3 days from Barak Kshetra in Nepal, where the Kosi originates from hills to the plains. It takes about 3-4 days from there to reach water to Indian border. Why warning was not issued? A similar question was asked in 1966, saying if only we had had warning system, probably our things would have been different. Does it take 12 years not to act? That's a basic question. Then slowly we start learning, and now we are well equipped, to advance warnings and all. But then the question is, we normally get the flood levels have come in the month of May, and how many times they continued up to November? Do the officials dealing with it, they know it? Why can't we when it comes to preparedness or living with floods and all? I remember from my scriptures in Mahabharat in Dhritarashtra, must be my Indian friends might be knowing that there is some Vidur Niti that must have been written about 5,000 years ago, wherein Vidur says to the Dhritarashtra that, look, you should be doing all good things during the daytime so that you get a good sleep in the night. And for the 8 months of the year, you should be preparing yourself to face the floods and live in peace in those 4 months. That was about 5,000 years ago. Have we really come to that situation that we can face the floods without any external assistance? And what we should be doing, what the society is doing, what the people are doing, and what the state is doing to achieve that target. Then, when it starts raining and the rains continue, many a times, not everywhere in the state, that's the beauty of disasters. It doesn't happen everywhere. It happens in pockets, in districts. Some districts, we have got 38 districts, maybe about 12 are flooded, but then rest are in peace. But where it floods, our our summer crop is lost. We hardly get anything. If there is a drought or even in a severe flood, the Rabi crop, the winter crop, sowing is delayed. So you are losing 2 crops. What happens to our agriculture production? We have to import grains from outside, be it now in our own country, but it has got to come from somewhere. So what we should be doing to meet that situation? Both the crops are lost, and then massive uh, migration starts in search of employment. We don't have any local employment. Then what we should be doing? And you look into the trains during those seasons, things become very uh, painful, the way people travel and go to. And then the agricultural inputs have increased, technology has increased, we have improved it a lot. But then production goes up, and so does the needs of the people. And if 2 crops successively fail, what should be the contingency plan? Did we ever plan for it? I have a problem that do we have a dialogue with the authorities that matter? My people in the villages living along the rivers for centuries, they have must have developed their own ways of dealing with floods and all. But we get experts to deal with our problem, and there is a loss of dialogue between the two. When we talk about floods or drought or famines, whatever, at the village level, we talk in our traditional calendar constellations: Rohini, Adra, Punarvasu, Hasta, Chitra, Swati, and all that. And the experts, they talk to us in terms of January, February, March, April, and all that. So neither I understand January, February, and March, nor do they understand Rohini, Ardra, and Punarvasu. There is no dialogue. And the dialogue, the interpreter between them is a politician. He knows both the languages. And then he twists the whole dialogue to his wishes. It is good that we are having now 5 years terms for most of the governments. But there was a time in our post-independence period when it was only 1.5 years, 9 months, even 3 days when the governments change. So what do we expect from that? And how do we reach our voice to such politicians and such experts? There is no dialogue between the two. And then when we talk about the rivers, I must say, what is the basic dharma of the river? I'm talking the rural language, the way people talk. And then the answer they give, well, it takes care of the fertility of the soil. It raises the water table. We are never at the loss of water. There is no dearth of it. Now, of course, we have moved into that. There is a dearth of it. And then the river has got another function to take any surplus water towards the sea. These three things. By creating by applying structural methods to tame the rivers and broad embankments, we have done so many things. Dams we don't have side because ours is a plain land. So what we should be doing? So we create a wall between the river and the people, and that wall is too fragile. If the water seeps through it, it breaches and creates more problem than earlier. What we should be doing? And then you ask the experts, why did it breach? They said, yes, it's an earthen embankment and it will breach. So did you know that it will breach? They say, yes, it happens. Almost every embankment is fragile and it will breach. Why did you build it then? The floods earlier, which was coming like a cat to us, comes to us like a tiger. Why did you convert it from a cat to a tiger? No answers. Hmm? Then the drama starts about rehabilitation and all, so many things happen. And we know its results, what happens. I have a feeling that our children in our villages, maybe about 8 to 10 years old, they know what the raindrop route is in their village, or in their area. The raindrop falling in their village, they will tell you when it falls, uh, what is the route it takes, where does it get terminated, where it gets diverted, everything they know. And when it comes to talking to their parents, with the experts have got the guts to say that you are a layman. A person who has lived for centuries in that area and must have developed all the rules of the game in dealing with floods. He is a layman and you become an expert. How does it happen? And how do we accept that situation? What should we be doing with experts? When they don't understand our language and don't understand our problem, they have come here with fixed ideas of building embankments or building ringments or building dams and all, and there is no dialogue with the people. When the beneficiary's voice is not heard, the expert's advice doesn't become feasible to the people. We must be knowing that. And on a positive note, I must say that I have suggested so many times to the experts, maybe individually or in some such meetings, why don't we perform a breach analysis of the embankments? Say Kosi embankments, they are about 125 kilometers long on either side. Can we take the breach analysis that if the embankment breaches at say 16th kilometer, what is the route that the water will take, what will be the flooded area, what will be the um, waterlogged area, where the people will go in for shelters. We can all find it out, and maximum 40 such points will have to be taken, and we know everything about Kosi embankments. And if we consider about the both sides, well, it is 80. Let our staff, let our engineers, let our experts analyze it. And it will have another advantage. Since we will be knowing the flood level of the river within the embankments, we will also be knowing the village levels also. So sitting in the office somewhere in Patna, if we know the flood level at a particular point, we will know now this village is going to be underwater. And then we plan the relief program for them also. So it is both, analysis for outsiders and analysis for those living within the embankments. There are, I think, no takers for what I have to say. But what is the option out? Option is relief, rush relief material there, and let it take care of the people. There was no such solid rule till Disaster Management Act of 2005 was formed. Then we decided everything about relief matters. And when a buffalo dies, and or a cow dies, or a bullock dies, or a goat dies, or a duckling it dies, we have got a package for everything. We'll give you. Can I remind for the debate that used to take place in during independence period and after, immediately after that, that there were people who said, we don't want relief, don't make us beggars, but own the responsibility of our well-being. And we refuse to take relief, and please take it away. And if you still want, well, we need certain help from outside, but if you want to give it to us, we'll pay for it. It's on record. But then why should we be made beggars? Again, 1966. Same thing happened. Why not warning? And what is the rehabilitation? And then the members of the legislatures, they used to say that you enjoy people coming to you with folded hands for some alms. We have, I'm pained to say that it has been legalized now. It has become my claim, where if my house gets washed away, and the people are then complacent. Yes, if it gets washed away, so much package is there. If it gets, I don't get food, well, somebody will give me food. My cow dies, I'm entitled for this. So that sort of thing. I mean, can we discuss these inconvenient issues sometimes sitting across the table? And
Sir, we
there
can
is,
do that.
said,
Sir,
sure.
if I may just intervene, we can certainly do that. That's very, very relevant. But sir, right now, in the interest of time management,
I have done it. I have done it, Sinazab. Don't have anything to say. I'm just closing it. Thank you very much.
thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
We must take
Bye.
it up later on, sir. I think this is something very substantive for whatever may be its consequence, and yet I think this is something which we must engage in, and we'll be in touch and work out
Thank you.
and organize a discussion, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And sir, Dinesh sir is a
Sure.
regular columnist, so he can always write on these various aspects in the magazine.
Certainly, certainly. Yeah. Yes, over to Sanjay, please.
Thank you so much, sir.